Let me take you to Soweto. That's where we find our reporter, Khotso tonight, who is watching the situation there. Khotso, let me come to you and get you to give us the very latest. Seems quite quiet, at least in the form of abandoned shops, but give us a sense of what's happening.
Good evening, Kathy. It does seem quiet, but it's only quiet because there's Mtoji security and, of course, the police who are armed. There were a few guys trying to try their luck as the night falls here, and they are also armed. So I think the heavy police presence and, of course, having the security, which is armed, is helping quell the situation a little bit. But it's such a sad day, Kathy, because this mall is the work of a local South African, Mike Nkuna, the founder of Msinga Group of Companies, which partnered with Nedbank as part of this project to uplift the community of Soweto. Nkuna initially wanted to build a shopping center in Soweto back in the 1980s. He wanted to build what is now called the Jabulani Mall back in those days, but was advised by a demographer that the mentality of Sowetans and political climate at the time was not ready to support such an idea. I mean, Diepkloof Square is not only one of the malls under the Msinga Group, but one of the four malls, Protea Glen Mall, Jabulani Mall, Barra Mall, just a few other malls that are under this Msinga Group. I mean, South Africa, we've always been crying for township economy, and this is what we are doing with what we have. I mean, it's a black African man and his company that has built this from the ground up, and all he has to do now is pick up the pieces of what's left. Bombed ATMs, shops ruined. The little bit of infrastructure that is in Soweto has been ruined to tatters, and it's such a shame that we're constantly crying that we need to uplift and give jobs to our local people, but the very same local people are the ones who are ruining the little bit of infrastructure that we do have. And I think maybe Xolani Mbanjwa will be a bit more qualified to expand on the business side of things, but it's such a sight for sore eyes looking at the ruins that are here, that we need armed forces, we need police to just be able to go buy bread.
Khotso, it's such an important angle that you're bringing up tonight, because the reality is we know how long it has taken to bring part of this infrastructure into our townships. We know that it has been through blood, sweat and tears of business people, mostly black, who have been committed to the development of their communities. And many who work for these shopping centers or different entities that are stationed there are now also going to be affected.
They're definitely going to be affected. I mean, a lot of people who do own businesses have been crying at the amount of losses that they have had to incur. And some of the people that they employ themselves will be left without an income for days and months to come. And, you know, some of the street people were saying that these people will have to go claim to insurance. But, I mean, how do you know how far and how wide this insurance of these people can cover? You know, so those are the little things that people need education on. I think financial intelligence and understanding the little bit of what we have that we need to preserve and make sure we build upon the little that we do have. I think the financial literacy side of things needs to be emphasized and perhaps, you know, brought into our school curriculums.
Khotso, just before I let you go, you know, many of those shops have been looted. I'm interested to know, what are the concerns in terms of further damage that that there are fears around what could happen? I mean, are they afraid that fires could potentially be started if the place is not guarded?
Look, as the sun set this evening, Kathy, some of those guys who are trying to be chance takers came in heavily armed, and luckily the security forces who are here are also armed, were able to repel those forces. I think it's a matter of cleaning up of the little bit that is here. We can tell that most of the goods that are able to be carried out were carried out, but I think some of the perpetrators operators are looking to come in and pick up the heavy machinery at butcheries and so forth, and maybe come in here with their bakkies and try and grab whatever else they can grab that's not easily accessible in terms of holding it by hand.
All right, Khotso Sello, let's leave it there for tonight. Khotso Sello, out in Soweto, the remnants of the Jabulani Mall, or at least part of it, that's what it looks like where Khotso is tonight.